Hey guys, join me as we dive into blue carbon systems, Earth's built-in carbon sink. As natural carbon sequesters, blue carbon systems store atmospheric carbon and keep it from re-entering the atmosphere. So blue carbon refers to marine ecosystems such as... Hold on guys, we're on the wrong slide.
Oh, shoot. Oh, man,
okay.
that totally looks like the opening slide in my
Don't
brain.
worry, it's okay. Alright, I'm just gonna keep going, whatever. Okay, so blue carbon refers to marine ecosystems such as mangroves, tidal marshes, and seagrass meadows, as well as others such as kelp forests, coral reefs, and shellfish colonies. All of these marine and coastal ecosystems act as carbon storage units, and they gain this function due to the carbon cycle process. So let's get into it. So during the carbon cycle, many reactions take place that involve the element carbon, and carbon is an element that is vital to all forms of life. It's, for example, it's found in me and you, like in our bones and things like that. And it's also found in inorganic materials such as diamonds, steel, and even gases such as methane. So carbon enters the atmosphere through natural combustion such as volcanic eruptions or even wildfires sparking. And in fact, these are volcanic eruptions and wildfires are two primary sources of natural carbon dioxide entering the atmosphere. And then you have human-induced actions such as the burning of fossil fuels that also contribute to carbon dioxide entering our atmosphere. And so carbon comes back from the atmosphere through a process known as assimilation, where living things take inorganic forms of carbon and convert them into organic compounds. So for example, you see these trees and grasses, and they'll go ahead and take this carbon dioxide and use it within their leaves or their branches, or as energy storage. And even these cows here, me and you, we go ahead and take this carbon dioxide and use it within our bones and in our bodies. So basically carbon is just stored within these bodies and structures of these living things. So here we have the carbon cycle pertaining to blue carbon systems specifically. We see carbon dioxide being taken up by these plants and sequestered into the soil. So these mangroves, tidal marshes, and seagrass meadows will go ahead and take this atmospheric carbon and sequester it into the soil where it's stored for a long time. And this is a critical component as to how these blue carbon systems work. So now we're in the seagrass meadow. How lovely. So those are found in shallow, salty, and brackish waters, and various species are dependent upon them, such as some seals here, or even little tiny shrimp. So what will happen is these seagrass meadows will store the carbon within their leaves, or even the sediment they compile, so the atmosphere goes ahead and pushes this carbon dioxide into the water, and the seagrasses go ahead and filter it and use it for their leaves and structures, and it's stored within them. So here in Florida, we have the second largest seagrass meadow within the United States. Pretty cool. It's called the Big Bend, and the Big Bend is over 984,000 acres long, with seagrasses spanning an area of about 267 acres. And so the Big Bend just demonstrates how vast these ecosystems are, as well as how they're right in our backyards. So it only emphasizes the importance of us protecting and preserving these natural areas. So shellfish colonies also hold an importance as a blue carbon system. Here behind me we see an expanse of oyster beds that a farmer is going ahead and cultivating. So oysters have been around for millions of years. In fact, they date all the way back to around the Triassic period and Triassic. Sorry if that sounds like Jurassic. Triassic period. And the Greeks and Romans, as far as we know, are some of the first to cultivate oysters for human consumption. So they have a pretty decent history here on our Earth. And so oysters will go through various stages before they become what I think is the most important stage in their life cycle, which is spat. So in order to become spat, an oyster must attach to a suitable substrate. So this could be a rock, or I don't know if you ever go to boat docks and you see the oysters there. So all those oysters around there, they've successfully attached to a substrate, If they fail to do so, they will die. And oysters will live for about 2 to 3 years and follow a harvesting schedule. And farmers follow a harvesting schedule 18 to 24 months. Some yummy oysters for us there. So this slide shows the material that oyster shells are made out of, which is calcium carbonate. So here, right next to me, we have a calcium carbonate molecule. And if we just look at this red and black area here, this is the carbonate ion. So see these red atoms here? Those are the oxygens, and they're sharing electrons, as you can see with the way they're attached right here, with the black carbon atom. So this ion has a negative charge. And over here we have calcium in white, which has a positive charge. So what happens is calcium is attracted to this ion right here because one's negative, one's positive, like a magnet. They like each other, so they're attracted to one another, and that will form calcium carbonate. So the carbonate component of this molecule is created by the atmosphere pushing carbon dioxide into the water or the ocean, and eventually this will form a carbonic acid, and that acid will break down and create 2 ions, one of which is carbonate, and that's what we're interested in today. So you can kind of think of this reaction when you're drinking soda, that fizzy feeling you get, that's basically from the carbon dioxide being pushed into the bottle and then forming this carbonic acid. So it's the same sort of process that happens on the surface of the ocean or other bodies of water. And so to obtain this calcium carbonate, oysters will go ahead and drink up or filter the water around them. So they'll take the calcium and the carbonate in the water and they combine them, and that's how they form their shells. And so another more chemistry type situation for you here. Calcium carbonate has an atomic weight of 100 grams, so very nice number. And we have carbon here with an atomic weight of 12 grams. So basically, carbon makes up 12% of an oyster's shell mass, so pretty interesting, pretty cool. And so here in Florida, kilometers beneath us, we have this structure known as limestone, very natural. And limestone is actually another natural formation that's made out of calcium carbonate as well. And like limestone, coral reefs also use calcium carbonate. So here's Florida Keys, lots of reefs here. We have the Great Barrier Reef, huge reef, you better know what that is. And in Belize as well, we have coral reefs, all of which use calcium carbonate, all of which store carbon. And so just to reiterate, carbon is found everywhere on the planet. It's inside of me, in my bones, inside of your bones. It's in your pets, fossils, diamonds, methane, the soda you're drinking right now, which hopefully you aren't, it's bad for you, but I do too. So basically, carbon is just found everywhere on the planet, and it only emphasizes the importance of these blue carbon systems and their ability to store this atmospheric carbon. And so grab your life jackets and let's get going and explore some more.